Hey fam, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. It's Thursday, so y'all know what that means. We don't got the same amount of time that we usually have, but we're still gonna get through a lot of NBA news. We're still gonna talk hoops, and we're gonna chill with chill, y'all. Mind you, before we get into everything, y'all, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping. Really quick. After Chill with Chill today, y'all make sure to catch us on playback. We will be doing Throwback Thursday. I don't know the game we're doing yet. Chill, do you know? You don't
I
know?
don't. I don't.
Nope.
I don't know which game we doing. Nope. Ox got not Ox. I'm sorry. Ron got us in suspense.
Right. So
Yep.
Ron knows the all the Hall of Famers know, but we don't know yet. So y'all come check us out on playback today. Uh 4 Pacific, so that's 7 Eastern. Y'all going to be there. It's going to be a great show on playback. Don't miss it. Tomorrow we'll be back on playback finally with our first WNBA game. We'll be checking out Nafisa Collier and her Minnesota Lynx against Asia Wilson and Vegas Aces. Sure to be a great game. Y'all, please don't miss that. We would hate for y'all to miss such a game. But in the meantime, chill. I just saw you a couple hours ago, but how's it going?
Running good, brother. You know we got to keep like what would you always tell me, Ox? We podcasting. That's what we doing.
Oh yeah, definitely potting.
Yeah, we podding. That's what we doing. Uh-huh.
Definitely. Um,
Mm-hmm.
chill with the. I would say this offseason has been it's been pretty exciting. We've had some moves, we had stories, we've had everything you needed for offseason. But
Mm-hmm.
there's still some guys hanging in there that haven't been moved yet. Jonathan Kuminga, let's talk about him. It's said so far that not the Lakers, I'm sorry, the Suns and my Sacramento Kings are both the two teams that have made serious offers to the Warriors because everybody knows that it's just not working out over there, Chill. I mean, what's going to happen, Chill, and who's a better suitor for JK?
Well, I definitely like him more with Phoenix than I do in Sacramento. And to your point, that's exactly what's going on, Ox. It's just not working. Like you want me to stay here in Golden State, but there isn't a refined role. It isn't a role for me where I can actually flourish in this role. Because as long as Steph Curry here, as long as Jimmy Butler here, I'm always going to be that third, fourth guy. And I think that I'm better than that. And I feel like while in Golden State, my value, I don't think it's going to be my value and my earning power won't be maximized just off the strength that me being on the court, I won't be able to showcase how good I could possibly be. Well, if I'm in Phoenix and I'm playing on a team where, you got younger guys, but there is more of a role for me, more playing time, more opportunity for me to flourish. I think that I could be a lot better. I don't love him in Sacramento off the strength that we still ain't off the Keegan Murray thing. I'm still on that. I'm not off that. So
Right.
is with Keegan Murray there, and I'm going to say something that might put Ox's hands around my throat. I know that the Lakers are after Ellis, and I know that you ain't trying to hear that. I know you ain't trying to hear that, big fella. And to be quite honest with you, I don't love it neither. I don't. But I just feel like in Sacramento, I feel like him getting playing time, he'll be playing behind Keegan Murray. So I'm almost in the same situation that I'm in with playing behind Keegan Murray, playing behind DeMar DeRozan, playing behind Zach Levine, playing behind these guys. I'm almost in the same situation that I would be in if I was in Golden State. Playing in Phoenix, he starts at the 3, day one. And if he's not starting at the 3, we can move him to the 4 because we got Dylan Brooks.
Okay, what's up with Dylan Brooks? Yeah, what's up with Dylan Brooks?
We got Dylan Brooks at the 3. So if he's not starting at the if he's not starting at the 4 at 6'8", then we probably got something different here. And on top of that, I feel like Phoenix can pay him, and they would have a plan for him. And we got a young guy that we can build around. Jonathan Kuminga is what, 23, something like that. So it's obvious that it's obvious that he's in their plans for the future. I might be in your plans for the future in Golden State, but what kind of plans are those exactly? Because when you look at what's going on in Golden State, they're still in the win now mode. We still got Steph Curry here, and we're trying to make sure that for however long Curry is here, we're trying to win. So that doesn't help me because my development and me being able to showcase what I can do, as long as the focus is Steph Curry, you're going to continuously bring in guys like Jimmy Butler, right? You're going to continuously bring in other pieces. And I just don't think that works out for me.
Right. Right. Chill. I've been just thinking on this Jonathan Kuminga thing since pretty much all season. Like, I wonder what's going to happen with JK. When is he going to leave? Where's he going to go? What's going to happen? Right. And I like everything the Clippers have done, but I really wish I could see JK with them. Even if that means not getting John Collins or something like that. Like, I like the Bradley Beal move, you know what I'm saying? But I would because especially how I feel about with Kawhi Leonard, and I'm fine with saying that I want Kawhi to play less, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I would love to see JK starting at the 3 over there. I'm not sure what you think, but I think JK has a bright future if he can go somewhere and just play basketball. If he can go somewhere with a team that can, he can build with, a coach that believes in him. I think JK is talented. Yeah, I think JK is talented. I agree. I like him in Phoenix too. I don't think Sacramento's the place for JK because we're still trying to figure our own stuff out. Phoenix is too. Phoenix is too, but I don't think Sacramento's the place for him. I think
I feel
Phoenix
like there's more room for him. To your point, Ox, I feel like there's more room for him in Phoenix than it is in Sacramento to figure it out. Because in Sacramento, you got a damn good player in Keegan Murray. And even though you're still trying to figure it out with him, there's still a ridiculous amount of upside with him. And it seems like they got a plan with him moving forward. It seems like they have a real plan with him moving forward. So
I don't believe we've signed Trey Lyles back yet, though. So that's another thing. I would like for Trey Lyles to go play in Golden State or something like that. I think he'll fit in well with them. But the Jonathan Kuminga thing, we're keeping an eye on it. Let's see. And so you like him in Phoenix, but do you believe he will end up in Phoenix?
I think that he would end up in Phoenix more than if we had to choose between the two. Because again, Ox, he's a restricted free agent, so Golden State's not letting him just walk out the front door, right? So with him signing, or with Phoenix making an offer, or with Sacramento making an offer, it would be a sign and trade. It wouldn't just be, Jonathan Kuminga just walks out the front door. That's just bad business. That's just bad business when you let a guy of that caliber, that young, with that kind of upside. It's just bad business to let him just walk out the front door. So I think that it's also because they still own his rights because he's a restricted free agent. It's definitely something that's beneficial to Golden State. So even if he might be a better fit in Phoenix, well, if the deal with Sacramento was better, then of course Sacramento is gonna be the suitor, as opposed to if he would rather play in Phoenix. So I get that. I do.
Right. Definitely. Some more news, Chill. So Luka has until next. I was trying to get all the information on this, Chill. So what's up with Luka? His contract situation. I believe he has to August 2nd to sign that extension. It's worth how much? 260?
229.
229. Is that what would that look like? 4 years, 5 years? What are we talking about here?
Well, we're talking a 4-year deal, 4-year extension for 229, and he has until next Saturday, which is the
what's
2nd.
that? 74, 75, 75?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And that's exactly what I think it is. That's not including incentives within the contract. Like if you make the All-Pro team, right? If you make the All-Star team, it's extra $500,000. If we end up in the NBA championship and we win the NBA championship, you win the Finals MVP. That's extra $1 million for you. Stuff like that. Like that's stuff that's in the contract. The 229, Ox, that's just the base, right? That's just what we paying you off the top. Which, of course, there's extra incentive, but I can tell you right now, Ox, with Luka and with the Lakers, and I think that a lot of the people in the organization recognize this, Ox, this is a watershed moment for the Lakers because we can't lose Luka. We can't. We have to make this deal. And the reason why we have to make this deal, because if we don't, we're going to lose James within a year, 2 years tops. We lose Luka at the trading Anthony Davis. So what does our future look like? Our future doesn't look very bright. Our future doesn't look very bright with DeAndre Ayton on a short deal for a little bit of money. Well, this only works with Luka. That's the idea. That's why we brought him over here. That's why we brought him over here to maximize him. Well, if we end up losing Luka, these are jobs that end up getting lost because you can't have Luka in your building and then lose him in free agency. That can't happen. You got to make sure.
Well, when does he become a free agent?
Next
After
season.
next season.
Yeah, after next season. Yep, after next season.
So summer, because this is summer 25. So we're talking about summer 26 or summer 27?
Summer 26. Summer 26, he comes off the books. Yes, that's why he was eligible for the extension now. So, and the Lakers, I think that they recognize that we can't lose Luka because, again, moving forward, this is a piece that we have to build around. And if you look at what they're doing right now, because the Lakers continuously revamp their roster, right? With the Lakers continuously revamping their roster with grabbing Marcus Smart, with getting Jake LaRavia, with plucking Jake LaRavia away from Sacramento, which that's why I'm not on the fence about this, Ox. You already plucked away Jake LaRavia. You think they're gonna give y'all LS2? No, they're not doing that. It's not happening.
That's ridiculous.
No, that's not happening. They already gave y'all Jake LaRavia, so they're not giving y'all LS2, who was arguably their best perimeter defender. So no, that's not happening. But with that being said, you pluck Jake LaRavia away, you get Marcus Smart, you bag DeAndre Ayton in free agency, you trade for Luka. You still got James. Now you got Jackson Hayes in the fold. You still got Rui. You end up losing DFS. Okay, that's fine. But with this group, none of this works unless you hold on to Luka. None of this. So of everything that has to happen, you have to hold on to Luka. And don't get me wrong, Ox. Luka ended up losing like $120 million getting traded to the Lakers because he was up for an extension for as much as $350 million when he was in Dallas. Nico just didn't see himself paying him that over the course of the next 5 years. He just couldn't see him. He just couldn't see himself doing that. He thought that they could probably win without. They could probably win going in a different direction, revamping the team, putting the team in a different space where they played a different style of ball. Which, to be honest with you, when I look at this Dallas group, I think that they could. I think that they could make a lot of noise and possibly win the Western Conference. But with Luka, who looks like he's in fantastic shape coming into this season, who looks like not necessarily on a revenge tour, because whenever I hear that kind of stuff goes in one ear and out the other. I think that these guys know exactly what it is that's necessary in order for us to get to where we're trying to get to. So with that being said,
yeah, but revenge is dangerous though, Chill. You know, like
absolutely.
And maybe not necessarily revenge, just the motivation to get back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
I think that motivator actually, I think that's a difference maker.
Well, think about him being motivated by people saying, you're out of shape, you're fat, you're not committed, you don't play defense. Well, it's obvious that he's gotten himself in better shape. To your point, Ox, if I'm avenging, if I'm seeking revenge, I'm seeking revenge for you doing me wrong. Well, Ox, was he out of shape?
I mean, I think so, but he just, from his point of view, it's like, yo, I just took us to the championship. You know what I mean? Like, what do you, So yeah, I think me and you can sit here and we can rationalize it. But from his point of view, he's like, what are y'all tripping for? Like, you think I'm a little tubby right now, but obviously I can still ball. We went to the shit, you know? So I can feel him feeling that way. But
I also think too, Ox, that it's important to motivate guys. Like, whatever motivates you, you know, Ox, you can't score on him. Your weekend is not good. Oh, you don't think I can score with my weekend? Let's get to the bottom of that. I'm going to go into the lab this summer, and I'm going to show you that I can score with my weekend. Luka, you don't take care of your body. One of the main reasons why we can't go deep into the playoffs, one of the main reasons why we're not as good as we can be is because you don't take care of your body, and your body breaks down. That's one of the biggest problems. Oh, you don't think so? So now Luka drops, 25 pounds, and he gets in some of the best shape of his life. And I'm going to show you guys I'm the difference. I'm going to show you guys I'm different than what you've seen in the past. And my game is going to reflect that. Don't get me wrong, Ox. 34, to your point, we talked about this a couple of days ago. 34, 9, and 9. That looks really good. But if I can get 29, 9, and 8 on better efficiency, if I could get 38 and 8 on better efficiency and getting other guys involved and we're winning more, we look even better. We look much better. And on top of that, we going deeper into the playoffs because now I've taken better care of my body. I'm getting in better shape, which I know how you feel about this. Like, we really shouldn't be having this conversation about you taking care of your body when you're a professional athlete. We really shouldn't be. Like, you should be. This is something that you should already be doing. But this is where we are. So, okay. But this is where we are. And me taking better care of my body, I can go deeper into the playoffs. With me going deeper into the playoffs, I'm less prone to injury, and I'm playing at a higher level, which I think that's what Luka is planning on doing, which is why the Lakers have to make sure that they end up signing him, because if they end up signing him, we could get more of these years. And whatever we got to do to motivate him, whatever we got to do to motivate him to show that we have to consistently have you, one, looking this way, and two, playing at this high level. If we could consistently get you there, then absolutely, we'll do whatever it takes. And I think that the Lakers recognize that they have to have Luka in there. They have to have Luka in their building, because if they don't, these are jobs, Ox, that are getting lost if they don't.
Right. So this is what I'm curious about. So if he's eligible for this extension and he, for any reason, shows I'm not interested in signing with y'all right now in this extension, is it possible that we see Luka Doncic get traded in back-to-back years? Who has a package for Luka Doncic? Do the I was going to ask you about Denver. Do they have anything? But I don't think they do. But you know who does? The Spurs.
The Spurs 100% do. And
but could we see Luka and Wemby together?
I don't think that the NBA would allow that. I just don't, Ox. I don't think that the NBA would allow that. I think David Stern, I think that Adam Silver would put the kibosh on that so fast. He'd be like, hell no. Even though those two together, I think those two together would be incredible, okay? With Luka's ability to play make, Luka's ability to pass, Luka's ability to get downhill, him playing off the pick and roll. I'm trying to imagine him in Wemby and pick and pop and pick and dive. I'm trying to imagine Wemby. It would be very similar to what happened with James and Davis, where Wemby, if you just ran the floor, I'm going to get you 8 points. Just run to the rim. That's all you got to do. Run to the rim. I'm going to get you 6 to 8 points a game just doing that. Then we have you Then we have you in pick and pop, where you already, Ox, have made it clear that I'm looking at a 2-guard that's in a center's body, right? So
right.
If he can learn how to screen better, which I think Wemby can improve on that. So with Wemby improving on himself screening better, that's a better pick and pop option. And then when Luka gets guys in jail, and now you don't know which way to go, because I've seen plenty of times when they were playing against Minnesota where Luka had guys in jail, and Rudy Gobert's not sure, do I guard the rim or do I come up on Luka? If I show on Luka, he's going to throw the ball to the rim. If I stop and I stay at the rim, Luka's going to knock that floater down all day. Well, imagine I'm playing that with Wemby. If he's playing that with Wemby, yeah, Adam Silver's not allowing that, because it would be unfair for the NBA. I don't think he wants anything to do with that. Now,
okay, went a little far.
With that being said, Ox, I think that, and this may sound ridiculous, but I think that Dallas trade traumatized him. I think he wants to be somewhere, and I think he wants to be settled. I don't think that he wants to do this moving thing again, because the idea of him getting traded again, the idea of him moving again, it was obvious how much it shook him up. It was obvious. And him being with the Lakers, I think the Lakers recognize that too. I think they recognize that he doesn't want to keep moving around. We have a guy who's a franchise player in our fold. Not only do we have a guy who's a franchise player in our fold, he's young. Like, we don't have a 2 or 3 year window. He's 26 years old. If we can get him to continuously take care of his body, I got another 6 to 8 years with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all we asking for. So, to be honest with you, Ox, there are some teams I think that can put some packages together, but I think that what happened with Dallas, I don't think that he's interested in moving anywhere.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. It's very interesting, because, I mean, there's a lot of money on the table. For him to be in this contract year, to be on a free agent, that does shake things up a little bit, yeah. That definitely does. I mean, we've been hearing whispers for seasons now about him and Jokic getting together and playing. So I don't think there's anything off the table. And honestly, I do think that if it came down to it, I think that the Spurs and the Lakers could put something together. I think that could come to a common ground. The Spurs have a lot of good pieces and young pieces. And
is that something, Oxen? I want you to stay right there. Is that something that happens overnight, or is that something that happens kind of like with Luka, like over the course of months? Like, I'm just throwing it out there to you. How you feel about Luka? How you feel about De'Aaron Fox? Well, and the conversation starts, and over the course of months,
Yeah.
like we
Well,
finally come to a deal.
I think it comes to first seeing how good Harper is. I think you wait a couple months, you see how good he is first, and then if I'm the Spurs, I'm the one that's calling like, yo, I got he didn't sign with y'all yet. Are you gonna risk this? You know what I'm saying? Like you could lose him, or you could get Foxy, you could get Stephon Castle, you could get Foxy and Harper. What do you want? Devin Vassell's on the table. You know what I mean? Like I got 5 players over here, and you can have any 2 of them and some picks, or you can have any 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, because I know you're not supposed to be able to put a bunch of contracts together anymore. I'm not exactly sure how it'll work out, but I'm just saying, like, if he's not committed to the Lakers, I don't see any reason why San Antonio is not a place you look, except for the fact that you're going to have to play against them since they're in the West too. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I could see, but I'm just thinking about it though, chill. I mean, obviously Luka is tradable. It just happened. So let's not act like
he can get traded again. And he can get traded again. I'm a firm believer. If I did something once, odds are I can do it again. So he could get traded again. I just think that the Lakers recognize that having Luka in their building is securing their future. And if we got Luka in our building, we can't let him leave. No, we cannot have somebody else, right? We cannot have somebody else swooping in and taking our future away. Because what I look at when I look at Luka, Luka is Beats. Luka is Uber. Luka is the next thing to invest in. And I'm gonna give this to somebody else. No, I'm not. Luka is Starbucks, right? That's who Luka is. Luka is Starbucks. Luka is the guy that's gonna set us up for the next couple of years. Luka is the guy that's gonna push us forward. And I got him in my building. So And yeah, there's some issues with him, Ox. Yeah, no question about it. There's some issues with him. There's some issues with with how he takes care of his body. There's some issues with his defense. But there are a lot of that stuff we can fix. We might not be able to fix all of it, but a lot of that stuff we can fix. And one of the things that I'm really not interested in is I'm not interested in letting him walk out the front door. No, because he comes off the books after next year. So I'm not trying to hear that.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, that's that with Luka, y'all. Let's pay attention to that. We'll see what happens. Something I've been paying attention to was an interview that Steph did. Steph Curry, of course, the chef, the one and only, did with Complex. I believe he did it with the brother. I believe his name is Speedy. I believe that's his name. But chill, he kind of insinuated that he got a lot in the tank. What do you? I think his exact words was not close to retiring. What do you think about that, chill? I mean, what is Steph? 37?
38 March.
38 March. Okay, so he said not close. I mean, that sounds like Steph plans at least 3 more seasons, right? Not close. That's because 2 years is close.
I was thinking a year is close. I like by next year. This is probably time for me to wrap this up. If he's saying that I'm not close, that means that I still got a few more years. At minimum, I got 3 more years left to play. Now, here's the question, Knox. The question is how many more years does he have left to play at that level that he's at right now? At the level that he's at right now, where he's playing at an all-pro level, where I'm second, third team All-NBA, where I'm still a top 10 player in the game. How many more years does he have at that level? I think he's got 2 more years at that level before we start to go in another direction, right? I think he's got 2 more years at that level. And I've already said it in the past too, where he can segue, even at age 39, he can segue into like a Ray Allen role where I'm a shooter. I supplement the offense that, I don't know, runs through Joker, runs through whomever the big is, it runs through Wemby. And I supplement that offense with me being the third option where I'm a knockdown shooter. I'm a guy that I can knock down shots. I'm a guy that they can't leave open. And I still think Steph Curry is going to be a superstar. I still think that. But the idea of him taking a step back and still being viable for another team, I think that that's realistic. I don't think that that's something that's ridiculous for me to think. But when I hear stuff like, I'm not close to retiring, people automatically hear that, Ox, and they think that he can play at the level that he's playing. They think he can play at that level for the next 5-6 years. No, I don't think so.
Well, my thing is, I think Steph will be able to run, catch, and shoot for another 3 seasons, right? But as fans of the game, we don't want our favorite players to go out like KG, go out like Dirk. We want them to go out still at a third team All NBA level. You know what I mean? But the amount of money that's going around in this league leads me to believe that these dudes are gonna stick around as long as they can. So, so it's like I look at Derek Fisher when he was in OKC.
Yeah.
Things like that. Well, if he could stick around to that level of play, Steph could certainly play for another 5 more seasons. Even if he gets to the point where Steph Curry's our backup 2 guard, a backup 2 guard, a spot up shooter, a situational guy. Steph's out here playing 16 minutes. He could do that for a long time the way he shoots the ball.
Which he will too, by the way, Ox. And to your point, I mean, like I said, 2 more years, because he signed that extension, right? He ended up signing that extension, which is over in the 27 season. He'll be 39. So with him being 39, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, I could probably play another 2, maybe 3 more seasons. Well, at 39 years old, Ox, who's saying no to another $35-40 million deal? I mean, if Damian Lillard could get $42 million on a bum Achilles at 36, right. if I still got the goods at 39, where I can still shoot it at an elite level, I could see a team going, yo, he go 3 years at $45 million. I don't think that's ridiculous. And to your point, who's saying no to that in terms of that money, Ox? Who doing that?
Nobody. Why would I do that? That's crazy. That's 1 season to make a lifetime's worth of money. Like that's you know what I'm saying? That's just another generation that just got plugged. Yep, come on.
Yeah, both not just us, but you guys, your kids, and the generation after you, they straight too. Yes. Just this 3 year.
I'll turn the chat section off, y'all. Relax, man. We don't need to broadcast all that. I mean, and just imagine if Steph Curry takes a step back as far as the catching and shooting and running so much and plays and displays like, yo, no, I'm actually a true point guard. And we come to find out for the next 2 years that Steph Curry's actually got some Chris Paul in. Yeah, let's find out that Steph can actually conduct the whole offense, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a whole nother thing. So I think Steph looked good this year. So
yeah.
I feel where he's coming from. He looked great in the Olympics, So I think Steph still got a lot in the tank. Chill.
And that dough is going to go up too, Ox. To be honest with you, because you just brought it up. I mean, at 38, 39 years old, and you've said it to me countless times. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So in the next 2 years, if I end up making another All-Pro team and I'm still one of the best long ball shooters in the game, just off my name alone at Steph Curry, can I see a 3-year deal for $50 million? I think I could see something like that. Yeah. And play till I'm 42 and I'm wrapping it up. Yeah, I'm wrapping it up at 42 years old.
You can't turn that down.
No. No way. Absolutely not. Hell no. I just don't see it happening. Nope. Not at all.
Hold on 1 second, chill. Give me a couple of seconds. I'm trying to.
Ox, don't listen to that. This dude is not. This whole Keon Ellis to the Lakers is not happening. It's not, yo. Do not listen to this dude. No, he's a troll, and this is what trolls do. Trolls do things to try to get under your skin, which I can appreciate that because I deal with trolls on the regular. But like I just said, the Lakers already gave Jake LaRavia. They already gave the Sacramento already gave Jake LaRavia to the Lakers. Keon Ellis too? Nah, I don't think so.
I'm just checking, just making sure. Well, anyways, let's get on to it because we are talking about roster construction. Chill. What's up with the Celtics? I don't think we talked much about what we think is going to happen with them, but I mean the team they're rolling out. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. What do you think about this? I mean,
Ox, what does that unit look like, Ox? When you looking at that unit, what does that unit look like, Ox? When you taking a look at that unit,
it looks like yeah. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like it. I see some good players. Obviously, I know I'm high on Jaylen Brown. I think Peyton Pritchard is really good. Derek White. I like Anthony Simons. Niang. Sam. Chill. This team isn't making the playoffs. Chill. They're not.
I was about to say, Ox. Let's have a cold hard conversation. So on opening night, I got Anthony Simons and Derek White in the backcourt, and in my front court, I got Jaylen Brown, I got George Niang, and I got Luke Garza. Ox, we ain't serious, yo. We not. Stop playing, Ox. We not serious.
Yeah.
And I know that the Eastern Conference, with losing Jason Tatum, with losing Tyrese Halliburton, with Milwaukee not being as good as everybody thinks they're going to be, even though I think that they're going to be even. I think that they're going to be even better, right? I think that they're going to be even better. I think they're going to be better than what you guys think that they're going to be. Not to the level of what in terms of a championship team. I don't think they're going to be that good. But there's a lot of you that think that they're going to suck, right? I don't think that they're going to be that bad. I think they're going to be a lot better. With that being said, if you look at this roster, again, with Simons and Derek White in the backcourt, Jaylen Brown, George Niang, and Luke Garza, with Kata playing behind him, saying Pritchard, let's see, Pritchard, Kata, Hauser, Tillman. Oh my goodness! I mean, they're not serious, Ox. They not.
Yeah,
if we're being honest, they're not serious in Boston, and it's fine that they're not serious, right? It's 100% fine that they're not serious. And if I can address this really quickly, this guy in the chat, Christian, said, "I just keep you accountable." Okay, this is what I've always stood on, and I will stand on this until I'm blue in the face. You can't hold me accountable until you hold yourself accountable. You can't hold me to a standard until you hold yourself to that standard. You won't get on the stage, so you can't hold me accountable when I get on the stage. So there is no accountability on your end, so you can't hold me accountable. I hold myself accountable. That's all that needs to be. That's all that needs to be mentioned. Stop talking to me about you hold me accountable. You don't hold me accountable for anything, sir. I came up here on my own volition. And not only did I come up here on my own volition, I stay here on my own volition. You won't get on the stage. You'll scream from the parking lot. You'll scream from the back of the cafeteria. You'll scream from the back of the stage. So nobody holds you accountable. You don't even hold yourself accountable. So you don't get to hold me accountable, sir. You just don't. So as I was saying, Ox, right? As I was saying, Ox, this Boston Celtic team, they ain't serious. No. And it's fine that they not serious. You know why? Because this is the gap year. This is the year where we get some guys like Kata. We get them more playing time. Not only do we get them more playing time, not only do we get Kata more playing time, do we get Sam Hauser more playing time. We get these guys better. And in addition to getting them better, in 2026, we got draft picks. In addition to us having draft picks, we got some money to spend. So next summer, we're going to definitely lock in. And we're going to get this team built. In addition, we're going to get this team built back to where we were, because we're going to get our best player back. Get our best player back. We're going to be in business. So no doubt, we're going to be in business.
They not only that, Chill. I mean, they don't have to work too hard to tank. You know what I mean? It's not like they got to really tank. They're not going to be good. Yeah. I wouldn't be forcing too many games on Jaylen Brown with his knee. So I mean, like we talked about last week. There's a lot of young players coming. Cam Boozer being one of them. So, you know, it might be Boozer. Very high.
On this kid,
very high.
On this kid Boozer. I can get with that. Yes, I can definitely get with that. You real high on this kid Boozer. I can get with that. And I've only seen snippets of him. I think I watched one game where he played in. It looks promising, Ox. It does. He looks promising. He looks like a kid that, like, with some work, he looks like he could be a franchise player. What I don't want to do is I don't want to rush him, though. That's what I don't. I'm not interested in doing that. Not interested in doing that at all. Not at all.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, definitely. Let me run through a couple super chats really quick. My man Desto dropped one early in the show. He simply just said Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that off the screen. Let's get that off the screen fast. Forgotten E. What is the obsession with two guards playing the point nowadays? They just always want the ball in their hands, I guess.
You forgot. If I would have told you, and I actually, Ox and I were on playback with Gilbert Arenas, and I had asked the question, if I would have told you 20 years from now, Gil, you, Baron Davis, Steve Francis, like you guys are going to be the prototype lead guard 20 years from now, like would you have bought that? And more times than not, nah, because the traditional point guard has always been prevalent. But like that's what the point guard is today. It's a scoring guard, more of a scoring guard than a passing guard, because that's where we live today. We live on social media where buckets are what moves people. Not only are buckets what moves people, it's like in baseball. You know how the long ball, chicks dig the long ball. Well, everybody digs buckets. And if you got a point guard that can score, people dig that. People tune in more. That might not be conducive to winning, but that's what people want to see. So that's where we are today when it comes to the lead guard, where that guy is more of a bucket getter and less of a distributor. But I understand that the game evolves too. I'm not one of these people that's stuck in, it ain't 1984 anymore. I recognize that it is not 1993. No, I recognize that. And the game does evolve. And with the game evolving, you have to be able to score if you're playing at the league guard. I actually had that conversation with Mars when we talked about John Stockton. John Stockton could not be relegated to just being a distributor today, who was a pass first, and score minimally second today. No, he would have to score today. He doesn't have to average 30, right? Right, Ox? He doesn't have to average 30, but like 13, 14, that's not enough. That's not going to be enough. Nope, not at all.
Not at all. We got another super chat from Alan R. He says, my Boston brother AJ coming home next draft. Talking about AJ DeBonsa. Okay. Okay, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Celtics, I'll take Cam over AJ because, got Jason Tatum, got Jaylen Brown already.
That's the kid that went to BYU?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. Another super chat from Alan R. He says, I think LaRavia ends up taking Rui's minutes. He's a better athlete and defender and maybe a better offensive player. He's an underrated pickup.
I don't know if he's underrated, but I think he's going to fit in. Just off his ability to stretch the defense, which the Lakers need. So, because in addition to having Austin Reeves as a floor spacer, in addition to having Luka as a floor spacer, we don't talk nearly as much about James being a floor spacer, because James is one of the better floor spacers in the game. And now you add Jake LaRavia to that. That's definitely going to help. Definitely.
Yeah, I really like the LaRavia pickup. I could also see LaRavia making Rui a little more expendable. You know what I mean? To where they might actually, go seek a trade. I know there was talk about Andrew Wiggins and whatnot. So I don't know. I could see LaRavia making it to where the Lakers look a little more seriously at trading Rui. I think LaRavia is gonna surprise a lot of people if he gets the minutes.
Let me ask you this, Ox, really quickly before you move on. Like when a guy like Jake LaRavia comes in, does that make me expendable, or does that up my competitiveness? Yo, you ain't taking my run. You're not taking my spot. I'm gonna ensure that I'm gonna, one, outplay you, and two, be better in this current system that we already in.
Yeah, I think it can do both. Actually, I think both go together. In fact, I would say that Jake LaRavia, if he can show that he can actually take those minutes and produce and be productive in those minutes, even as a backup or whatever it is, and then if Rui takes that as a challenge and gets better, I think that does exactly that. I think it even ups Rui's value, where it's like, okay, Jake can do that, but Rui's playing better. That makes him even more valuable in the trade market. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I think it actually does both, and hopefully does both. Like we want athletes to be competitive. You know what I mean? Just like in the QB room, like I feel like a good second string QB should make the starter play a little better. So
I could get with that. Yeah, I could get with that. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. But let's get back to the Lakers. We've talked about Luka Doncic. We've talked about Jake LaRavia. We've talked about potential trades and everything. But let's talk about more about this offseason, about the acquisition of Marcus Smart, and how much of contenders does that make the Lakers? I think they've done a pretty good job putting the team around Luka and Bron. Obviously the DeAndre Ayton addition. Marcus Smart. I think these additions are actually helping. Are they contenders, Chill? Can they make a splash in the playoffs? And what else do they need, if anything?
Well, I think that they're better than last year because the stuff that they needed to fill, I think that they filled that they had a need at the 5 spot. They went and got DeAndre Ayton. That helps. I got a rebounder. I got a rim protector. I got a scorer around the rim. That 100% helps. They picked up Marcus Smart, who's had some health issues in the past. He had a broken hand. He rolled his ankle, I think, a year ago. He was out of the lineup for a little bit. But he's still an A defender. Still, to this day, I think when he's healthy, he's still an A defender. So that shores up your point of attack defender. That shores up some of your perimeter defense. It doesn't shore up all of it, but it does shore up some of your perimeter defense. And I think that with him on the floor, I do think that helps those other guys compete more on defense. That helps. So now what I'm looking for is I'm looking for rotation guys. So Vando has shown me throughout the course of this summer and seeing what I've seen from him, he's getting in better shape. He's working on his game. Like he said, this is one of the first times that I can actually just work on basketball instead of rehabbing. I love that idea because if I'm not worried about, getting my foot stronger or my shoulder, I can just work on my game. That tells me that I'm going to improve and I'm going to be more in game shape. Adding Jake LaRavia to the roster. That's another floor spacer that we have. I got James. Luka's going to be in better shape. The problem is that the Western Conference is so stacked. And because the Western Conference is so stacked, this Lakers team, even though they were the 3rd seed last year, I don't think that they're going to be a great regular season team. I could see them anywhere between 3 and 6. 4 and 6, something like that. I could see that happening, but emphasis closer to 6 than 4. And I think that them ending up with a bad matchup in round, I think they can win a playoff series with this group. Winning the NBA championship, though, I think you're asking a lot because now what you asking James to do is you asking James to do more than I think that he's going to be physically able to do. Ox, you said it yourself when you saw him against Denver in the Western Conference Championship in 23. He was that 800-pound gorilla got on his back.
He was tired.
And then last year, the same thing was happening. I mean, I'm sorry. Then the year after that, when they lost to Denver, and then last year, it was obvious that James, being the freak athlete that he is, we have to accept the fact that he's getting older. We have to accept the fact that he's getting old. Let me rephrase that. He's old. So now he still doesn't understand how to not play at that level. So I think that that's going to be an issue going deep into the playoffs. I don't know if he still has that. I just don't.
Chill. I like this Lakers team, Chill.
I do too.
I like this Lakers team. Like, let me what's if you were to roll this team out in front of me and they just didn't have any jersey on, like it didn't say Lakers on their chest, for instance, I could get behind the team like this. Bron, Luka, DeAndre Ayton. I like this team, Chill. I do. I do. I'm not sure how much. I don't know how far this team goes, but I could see it. I definitely could. We just had a couple of people leave the lobby. I was about to start bringing people up. Let me see. Hold on. Let me send the link out one more time. If something happened with the link or something like that, y'all go ahead and click on it. We still got some people in the lobby. I'll pull up now. But yeah, Chill. In the meantime, Chill. Let me get a ceiling and floor. What did you say? You said ceiling like 5.
I think second. I think so. A ceiling for them is the 4 seed. I think that's. I think that's probably considering what the Western Conference is, a 4 seed. I think they can win a playoff series. I see them as a second round exit. It would take a lot for them to get to the West Finals. I do. I think a lot would go into them. If they get favorable matchups, then it's something different. But then it's something different. But I think that they could win a playoff series. That's as far as I'm going with this team. Second round.
Yeah, I think Luka got some carryability in him, chill. I think when Luka has a good team around him, guys that can think the game, like Bron, you got a guy like Austin Reeves, who's a spark plug. He can catch fire anytime. DeAndre Ayton, I mean, until Monty Williams decided he didn't want to coach no more, DeAndre was looking great. He could catch the ball, go to work in the mid post, on the block. He has a good touch. I mean, even Jackson Hayes, I like him as a backup center. You know what I'm saying? So they got other pieces too. Rui, I like Rui. I don't know what's the issue with Rui. I like Rui. I'm not mad at this Lakers team. I think they could shock some people. But Luka has to be the one to carry. But I don't think Bron got that extra tank anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. With James, since you brought that up, Ox, would James, like, would he let the reins go to Luka?
He has to. Yeah, definitely. He has to.
And he would have to do that.
I forgot to bring up Marcus Smart too, which was the topic. Yes. Marcus Smart. So yeah, yes. I like it.
I just think that I just don't think that James knows how to do that yet. I just don't.
Mm-mm. Yet? What do you mean yet? Chill. When is he? How like he's been around for 30 years.
And for 30 years, and for 30 years he's been the man. Now I'm not the man anymore. This is one of the first times. This is the first time I've been on a team where I'm not the best player on the team, and now I'm still playing at that level. I'm still playing at an All NBA level. He made second team All NBA. We was having conversations about him being first team All NBA, which is top 5. So I'm still that good. So with me still being that good, it's difficult to step aside, which I don't think that it shouldn't be an issue, Ox. To be honest with you, it shouldn't be. But I think that with him, right? I just think that with him, he doesn't know how to do that. Not that he can't. I don't think he does. I don't think he knows how, because he's been the man for so long.
Right. Okay, well, let's get to the lobby, y'all. Let me see what we got. Let's get Ryan up to the stage. Let me get Ryan up.
What's going on, y'all?
What up, brother?
Hey, man. So today I'm up here to talk about, 60s basketball, because, lately it's been a topic of discussion around the panel, and, nothing could possibly excite me more than talking about that. I just want to clear up some things that I heard that kind of bothered me, and, just put some more context out there. So, particularly, I feel like the way that Wilt Chamberlain gets talked about and somewhat discredited for his accomplishments, I think that it's kind of hard to rank him, because, he was discredited, if anything, for his individual greatness, and he was called selfish for it. But yet, when we talk about the greatest of all time, which is purely about individual greatness, and, we do kind of have to take things out of a team context to a degree. Somehow being the greatest individual performer of your time period just lands you outside of the top 10, which makes no sense to me. But when it comes to team accolades, particularly I want to talk about, a coach who really helped define the 60s era of basketball, Alex Hannum. He's the only coach who beat Wilt Chamberlain during his time in the finals. He beat him in 1958, and he coached the 1967 team that is really one of the greatest teams of all time that just doesn't get enough shine. And I'm really excited to hear it be talked about more. That team had 5 Hall of Fame players on it, and another one of the players I want to highlight from the 60s is actually on that team, Larry Costello. It's sort of a random call out, but to me, it reminds me of like how Rondo was called up for the Lakers during the finals in the 2020 playoffs. And Larry Costello was personally called up by Alex Hannum to be like a mentor for that 67 team. And Larry was so great of a basketball mind himself. He was actually, he's actually the head coach of the 1971 Bucks team that won the championship. So the 60s is just littered with all kinds of basketball royalty, and I think that discrediting the people who came before you is a really big mistake, and it disappoints me a lot to hear, younger people just shit on the elders because they're not still with us anymore. I know Wilt died like 25 years ago, but
yes, sir.
There's no reason to put more dirt on his name when he was already hated and discouraged. He almost retired after his rookie season because of all the hate that he was getting for his play style. And that same hate is still around today. So I wanted to
literally
get that
had a
off my
guy,
chest.
and I literally had a guy I talked to this morning. Literally had a guy tell me he doesn't count anything before 1980. Like, it's that kind of stuff that drives me crazy when I hear stuff like that. It just, because what you can't do is, you can't tell me that you care about the history of the game and then completely take out 35 years of the game. You can't do that. And then 35 years from now, when they want to take out 35 years of the game when you were around,
It's gonna drive us crazy.
it's going to drive you nuts.
Right?
It's going to drive you nuts. So when 35 years from now, when they tell you that from I don't count I don't count anything before 2030. I don't count anything before that. You're gonna be like, what?
I can't
What are you
do it.
talking about?
Can't do it.
Are you kidding me? I don't count the 2000s with Shaq and Kobe. I don't count the 2010s with Steph Curry and LeBron James and the 3-point era. I don't count that. And I'm telling you, you're gonna want to choke these guys' life out. You're gonna want to choke the life out of them. You definitely want to do that.
All right, Ryan, appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on. Let's get them going quick. Y'all know it's a short day.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Scott Warrior.
Mm-hmm. What up?
What up? I just want to let you guys know that I'm 16, so I try to respect all eras, and I try to go back and watch old games of basketball to see how different it is from today's game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do hate people try to. I used to be one of them, but more research I did, I can't discredit the 60s or 70s or 80s.
Well, you can't discredit basketball history. Like, I just saw a post. There's only 3 players in NBA history that have won without a top 75 player. That's Kobe. Won multiple championships. Let me rephrase that. Won multiple championships without a top 75 player. That's Kobe. That's Duncan. And I feel like I'm leaving. It's Steph Curry. I'm sorry. Yeah. So those are the 3 players that won without a top 7. Well, first of all, George Mikan won without a top 75 player. And number 2, you guys have this top 75 list. The majority of you think that half the dudes on the top 75 list shouldn't be on there, which means half the list is invalid. So why even bring that up? There's no reason to bring that up.
I know, like they should have put Dwight Howard, Paul Gasol in there, and maybe Amari Stoudemire or even Chris Webber. Like, yeah, they should have.
Yeah, I mean, when you limit it to just a certain amount of people for air, a lot of people are going to get left off. But I think it was still a solid list. I think they did a good job of preserving some of the older guys too. So I like the 75, even though I feel like
my problem was when they took everyone that made the top 50 and still put everyone from the 50. So it wasn't really a top 75 list. They put everyone in the top 50.
All they did was just add 25 names to it. That's all they did.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all they did.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think that list is supposed to be the best 75 players that ever played. I think it's just more of a way for them to preserve
the greatest.
I think it's more about preserving the history, no doubt. But Scott, we do got to keep it moving. Thursday is a shorter show. We got a full lot.
Okay. I just want to say one more thing. I don't understand the hate for Magic. Like, if you got on top 5, I disagree with that. But the hate for Magic recently, it needs to stop.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think anybody would agree. All right, Scott, catch us next time. We'll be back on Saturday. Hey, Scott, playback in a few hours. Don't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha, guys.
All right, Scott. Good talking to you. Let's see. Next we got Moon Man. Moon Man, what's going on, brother?
What up?
Yo, what's going on? I've been a big supporter of the show. The only problem that I got, shorters from the Bahamas, supporter from the Bahamas. I don't like.
Hell yeah.
the one thing with the Steph's debate with the top 10 and all that stuff. Because I grew up at 30 years old. I've been watching my first introduction to basketball was watching the finals with Shaq and AI and watching Shaq throw them bowls. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how certain old school players could be ranked so low, depending on the era. I know we have because I'm like in between. I'm in between both eras. So I want to know why it's such a disconnect between that and that. Because the 75 list is fine. The 75 that you guys made, the list that you guys made is fine. It's just an order certain things I don't understand. So I just want to.
I think the disconnect is where we live today. So because of where we live today, so you talking about the top 75 list?
Yeah, just to keep that subject.
Yeah.
You talking about the one that we put together on the show, on the panel?
Oh, because I don't want to talk about the one they put together because that's a whole different subject.
Yeah, he's talking about the one we put together. Yeah, he's talking about the one we put together. It was just based on the 24-25 season. That was it. It wasn't based on anything else. It wasn't based on what you did 3 or 4 years ago. It wasn't based on what you're gonna do in the future. It was based on who played the best in 24-25. That's all it was. And that was now don't get me wrong. When you saw the list, what you saw was us. We all didn't come to an agreement on all of those names.
Sure, for sure.
Like some people had other people, some people had other people, and
no, I agree because I agree with the Trae Young.
That's ultimately what it was. Yeah, it was just it was based largely on what you did in the 24-25 season. That's what we tried to stay consistent with.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That clarifies a lot for me.
Yes, that's what we.
If I could ask another question, if that's possible.
Yep. What you got?
All right. Well, how do you feel about since we're talking old school, new school? How do you feel about the 2010 to 2011? Because I feel as though Kobe should have been ranked higher, but that's not a dispute. But it's a
2010, 2011, like he should have been ranked.
I mean,
higher.
all-time top 10. How do you feel about that? Because I feel as though it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Would be look at basketball as players.
It depends on the criteria, because I think the biggest problem that we have with the top 10 is the top 10 is subjective. It's not just one criteria for one person. I think it's a number of different people who have different criteria. I got a different criteria than Ox, who has a different criteria than Sean, who has a different criteria than Jake. So people have different criterias, and some of them don't make sense, but in the end, it's really all subjective. And because it's all subjective, you're going to get different lists.
You're
so
right. It is opinion. It is opinion.
That's why mine is what it is.
Right. Well, all right, Moon Man, appreciate you pulling up today.
Talk to you, brother.
Back on Saturday, and if you are on playback, we'll be there doing a throwback. Maybe it'll be a Kobe game. We'll see.
All right, let's see.
Maybe. Good to talk to you, brother. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1 second. Well, y'all, we are running out of time. I will, before we go, just do a little more housekeeping. I just want to remind y'all that tonight is Throwback Thursday. Our very first Throwback Thursday is kicking off tonight on Playback. Y'all be there 7 p.m. Eastern time. I don't even know the game we're doing yet. Only the Hall of Famers know. They voted on it. We'll be there on Playback, checking out some throwback games. Let's go watch some old school ball. Let's talk hoops. We will finally see if the rumors are true. Is it true that they couldn't even go left before 2008? Is it true that nobody shot outside of 15 feet until 96? Are all these things true? We'll find out. Y'all know where to go. Make sure y'all pull up to Playback tonight. Come check it out with us. Also, tomorrow on Playback, we will be doing our first WNBA game of the season. We have the Las Vegas Aces and the Minnesota Lynx. Come check that out with us tomorrow on Playback. Always good hoops. Always good hoops in the W. Before we go, I know we have another super chat. Let me find it. From Tyson, the Family Guy. Tyson says, salute y'all, brothers. Salute.
Thanks, brother.
Too. I appreciate you,
man. Absolutely.
Well, y'all, that was the show. Y'all heard it first, man. The Lakers are still contenders. We got more free agent stuff coming up throughout this offseason. So y'all stay tuned. We'll see where Jonathan Kuminga lands. A couple other guys still in the mix. Chill, anything for the people before we head out?
Yeah, man, absolutely. You know where to find us. This is where we are on Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We'll be back on Saturday at 12 o'clock. Me and my man Big Ox right here on the Players Choice Network. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, my big fella right here, he'll make sure that you get to where you need to go. He got you. Got you covered. So we will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. This was dope.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. See y'all in a couple hours on Playback, watching the Throwback Thursday of the week. Y'all make sure don't miss that. Check y'all out next time. Y'all know where to find us on Chill with Chill. We will be back on Saturday.